Beloved, there is no secret with God, only truth awaiting recognition. The world calls it a jackpot, a sudden windfall, a treasure found in an unexpected place. But I tell you, it is not luck, it is not chance, it is divine law, working in perfect order. For what man calls a jackpot, Spirit calls supply, and this supply has been prepared for you since the foundation of the world. The hidden secret is this: nothing is withheld from the one who aligns with divine will. You do not have to chase, you do not have to strive, you do not have to worry. You simply speak the word, believe without wavering, and the universe hastens to deliver. For your spoken word is a seed, and every seed must bear fruit after its kind. Speak lack, and lack appears. Speak abundance, and abundance manifests. Speak divine jackpot, and the storehouses of heaven open in ways you could not imagine. People cry out, "Where is my supply? Where is my miracle? Where is my jackpot?" And I answer, it is where it has always been, within your faith, within your word, within your fearless expectation. The world may call it luck, but we know it is law. God cannot fail, and God's law cannot return void. The hidden jackpot of God is revealed the moment you release fear. Fear is the great thief. It blinds the eyes, it deafens the ears, it shuts the door to supply. But faith flings wide the gates of abundance and cries, "Come forth, O miracle, come forth, O divine riches, come forth, O hidden jackpot prepared for me by my Father, Mother God." I tell you now, you are rich with invisible supply, you are wealthy with unseen treasures. You are walking daily toward your jackpot moment, if only you will keep your faith unshaken and your words in alignment with truth. The secret is not outside of you, it is in you, it is in your spoken word. Affirm daily, "God is my instant and eternal supply. The jackpot of heaven is mine now. I walk in abundance, I live in plenty, I rejoice in unexpected miracles." And as you speak, so shall it be, for heaven rushes to honor the fearless soul who knows that all good already belongs to them. The hidden jackpot is revealed when you cease to search for it in the world, and declare it already yours in spirit. Then, and only then, it appears in perfect time, in perfect way, in overflowing measure. Beloved, go forth, and speak your jackpot into being. The treasure house of God is unlocked by the key of your faith, and today that hidden secret is revealed to you. You are the heir of divine riches, and nothing can keep from you that which is already yours. Beloved, the world has placed its faith in chance, in numbers, in lotteries, in fortune that may or may not come. Yet I tell you, there is no chance in spirit, there is only divine law, operating with precision, order and unfailing certainty. What man calls a jackpot, God calls fulfillment of law. You may think the treasure comes suddenly, as if out of nowhere, but in truth it has been forming since the moment you first spoke the word, the moment you first believed, the moment you first aligned your desire with divine will. There are no accidents with God, there is only order, there is only perfect timing, there is only supply, moving from the invisible to the visible. The jackpot that the world worships is seen as a rare event, a lucky strike. But in the language of spirit, it is the natural outpouring of abundance when the mind is clear and the heart is fearless. Divine supply has no limit. It is not measured by man's reasoning or held by man's conditions. It is not bound by the figures in a bank account, nor restricted by the economy of the world. Spirit does not calculate in dollars or coins, but in plenty, in sufficiency, in overflow. When the law of supply is obeyed, the outpouring may come in the form of money, in the form of opportunities, in the form of open doors, or even in the form of what men call jackpots, unexpected gifts that come without labor or toil. Yet it is not luck, it is law. The one who understands this secret no longer seeks to gamble with fate. He knows he need not rely on the roll of dice, nor the turning of wheels, for his good is already established in spirit, awaiting only his fearless faith. The treasure house of God is never locked. It is man's own doubt and fear that bolts the doors. But the moment he recognizes that all good comes by divine right, that nothing can be withheld from him that belongs to him by law, then the very thing he seeks rushes to meet him. When you know that God is the giver and the gift, the jackpot ceases to be a mystery. You do not question if, you only stand in joyous expectancy of when. You no longer whisper, "Perhaps it will happen." You declare with authority, "It is already mine by divine right." In that knowing, the fear of loss evaporates, the belief in chance dissolves, and the assurance of supply becomes a song in your soul. You walk in confidence, not because of what you see, but because you know the unseen is more real than the seen. So I say to you, lift your eyes from the world of chance, and behold the world of law. The hidden jackpot is nothing more than divine law in action, and it is as sure as the rising sun. Speak the word, keep the faith, and know without wavering, your treasure is not uncertain, it is inevitable. The key to this hidden treasure is always the word, for in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. All creation is spoken into being, and nothing can stand against the decree of a fearless soul who knows his unity with the divine. The mouth is the instrument of spirit, the tongue the scepter of authority. Every word you utter is a seed cast into the fertile soil of the unseen, and it must bear fruit after its kind. If you speak doubt, you reap doubt. If you speak lack, you reap lack. But if you speak abundance, with faith and certainty, then the invisible currents of supply gather themselves into visible form. The hidden jackpot of heaven responds to your word, for your word is law to your world. Man has been careless with speech, scattering idle words as if they were nothing. He complains of his lot, he names his hardships, he repeats stories of lack, and then he wonders why his harvest is meager. The law is unfailing, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Therefore, when you sow words of faith, you cannot reap anything but supply. When you affirm divine plenty, you cannot gather anything but riches. The word, spoken in fearless conviction, becomes the golden key that unlocks the treasure chest of heaven. This is the hidden secret revealed. You need not strive or toil for supply. You need only to speak it into being, knowing that the word is backed by the authority of God Himself. When you say, God is my instant and eternal supply, I claim my hidden jackpot now, you are not begging, you are not wishing, you are commanding in harmony with divine law, and the universe bends to fulfill that decree. For heaven and earth may pass away, but my words, spoken in truth, shall not pass away until they accomplish that for which they are sent. Each day, with deliberate speech, you are writing the script of your life. You may choose words that open the floodgates of abundance, or words that chain you to lack, but the wise soul guards the tongue, and lets only words of plenty escape his lips. He calls forth money, he calls forth opportunity, he calls forth miracles, and the law rushes to deliver. Speak as one who knows his inheritance, not as one who doubts his claim. Speak with the authority of a child of God, not with the timidity of one who believes himself forgotten. For the spoken word is the bridge between the unseen supply and the seen manifestation. Beloved, do not underestimate the power of your decree. Each affirmation is a seed, each declaration a command, each word a door opening to hidden treasure. And the more you speak in faith, the more you discover that the jackpot is not outside of you, waiting in the hands of chance. It is within you, released through the word, and brought to pass by the unfailing law of spirit. But I tell you, beloved, though the word holds all power, it cannot bear fruit in a soil poisoned by fear. Fear is the great robber of man's inheritance, the thief that creeps into the garden of the soul, and chokes the seeds of faith before they have time to blossom. Many speak the word of abundance, yet they continue to water it with fear, fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of never receiving, and what happens? The law, impartial and exact, mirrors back not only their spoken word, but also the trembling doubt that hides beneath it. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Faith, on the other hand, is the master key. It does not tremble, it does not waver, it does not question. Faith is the calm knowing that God cannot fail, and that His promises cannot return void. Faith is the stillness that rests in divine order, even when appearances scream otherwise. Faith looks beyond the empty purse and sees overflowing supply. Faith looks beyond the locked door and sees the opening prepared by Spirit. Faith is the vision that beholds the jackpot already won, even while the world calls it impossible, and the law, always obedient, rushes to bring to pass what faith has seen. Fear binds the hands of God, but faith sets Him free to work miracles. A man living in fear builds walls around himself, and wonders why blessings do not flow. He clutches and grasps, saying, "What if I lose? What if I fail? What if it does not come?" And so, by the very words of his fear, he closes the channel. The stream of supply, waiting to pour forth, is dammed up by his own resistance. But the fearless soul throws wide the gates and cries, I fear nothing, for God is my supply. I cannot lose, I cannot fail, I cannot be denied. And instantly the current of abundance is released, rushing into his life in ways that astonish the senses. The world may look at the fearless one and call him lucky, but we know better. Luck is only the name men give to faith in action. The jackpot appears suddenly, yes, but only because faith has been working silently, preparing, gathering, arranging, until the hour of manifestation. There is no delay in spirit, only divine timing, and the moment fear is released, faith takes its rightful place, and the miracle is made visible. Therefore I say to you, guard not only your tongue, but also your heart. Do not allow fear to nest there, whispering its lies of lack and delay. Cast it out with a strong word of truth. Declare daily, I walk in fearless faith, nothing can oppose my good. God's supply is sure, immediate, and abundant, and as you stand unmoved, fearless and free, the jackpot of heaven bursts forth, not as chance, not as luck, but as the certain reward of faith unshaken. Invisible supply always precedes visible riches. What you see with the outer eye is but the shadow, the after effect of what has already taken place in spirit. Every coin, every bill, every opportunity, every so-called jackpot begins first as unseen substance, shaped by thought, colored by faith, and brought forth by the spoken word. The mistake of man is to look only at appearances and to judge reality by what is before him. He sees an empty purse and says, I am poor. He sees a closed door and declares, there is no way. He looks at another's abundance and whispers, why not me? Yet all the while, his invisible supply is waiting to take form, waiting for his recognition, waiting for his fearless declaration of truth. The treasures of heaven are not earned, they are realized. They do not come because of labor, they come because of alignment. Just as a seed holds within it the pattern of the oak, so the invisible holds within it the pattern of your riches. You may not yet see the tree, but you know it is there, enfolded in the seed, and so it is with your abundance. It is enfolded now in spirit, and the moment you speak in faith, you water it, you warm it, you give it permission to grow into visible form. Many live as beggars at the gate of plenty, not realizing that the feast has already been spread for them in the invisible. They knock and plead, send me money, send me opportunity, send me miracles. But begging never opens the door. It is the bold claim of faith that swings it wide. You must stand and declare, what is mine in the invisible, is mine now in the visible. I do not wait. I do not doubt. I give thanks for my jackpot already revealed. Gratitude is the magnet that draws invisible supply into tangible form. The grateful heart knows it already possesses the treasure, though the hands may still be empty. And because it knows, the hands cannot remain empty for long. Invisible supply is unlimited, inexhaustible, and eternal. It does not diminish. It cannot be exhausted. It cannot run dry. Men look to the world and say, there is not enough to go around. But in spirit, there is always more than enough. The law of abundance is ever creative, ever renewing, ever flowing. When you believe in lack, you cut yourself off from that flow. But when you affirm abundance, you step into the current and allow it to carry you swiftly into manifestation. Therefore, never measure your good by what you see. Appearances deceive. Spirit never lies. The invisible supply is as real as the breath you breathe, and the one who knows this walks in peace, untroubled by delays, unmoved by appearances. He knows that though the world has not yet seen his jackpot, it is already his, already secured in spirit, already pressing toward the hour of unveiling. And so he waits in joy, in faith, in certainty, until the invisible substance takes form, and the treasure house of God stands revealed before his very eyes. Expectation is the great magnet that draws the invisible supply into visible form. To expect good is to prepare the way for it. To expect miracles is to command their swift arrival. The soul that waits in joyous anticipation will never be disappointed, for what it steadfastly looks for must appear. God's law cannot fail, and faith joined with expectation is irresistible. The one who doubts speaks the word, and then watches for nothing. His eyes are blind, his ears are closed, and though supply knocks at his door, he does not open. But the one who expects rises each morning with joy, saying, this is the day my miracle shall come forth. This is the hour my hidden jackpot is revealed. And because he looks for it, he sees it. Because he welcomes it, it enters. Expectation is not mere wishing, nor is it restless waiting. It is a quiet knowing, a calm assurance that what belongs to you is already yours in spirit, and must appear in perfect time and perfect way. The expectant heart is like a lamp kept burning through the night, sending forth its light, declaring that the guest is on the way. Though others may scoff and say, "Where is your supply? Where is your jackpot? Why has it not come?" The expectant soul answers, "It is already mine. I wait only for the moment Spirit chooses to reveal it." This unwavering stance confounds the doubter, but delights the law, for the law is always faithful to expectation. I tell you, beloved, that miracles come most swiftly to the one who rejoices before he sees. Gratitude before manifestation is the highest form of expectation. To sing songs of thanksgiving when the purse is empty, to bless the door before it is opened, to rejoice in the jackpot before the ticket is drawn, that is the soul that cannot be denied. For faith and gratitude together weave a garment so radiant that all good hastens to clothe the one who wears it. Many people destroy their harvest with anxious waiting. They plant the seed of faith but dig it up each day with impatience, crying, "Why is it not here? Why has it not come?" But true expectation waits serenely, knowing that the soil is at work, that the sun is shining, that the invisible forces are aligning the visible result. The expectant one does not worry, he does not fret, he does not watch the clock. He simply declares, "All is well, my supply is certain, my jackpot is already mine. I rejoice now, for it is as good as done." Expectation sets the table before the feast arrives, and because it is set, the feast must surely come. Expectation opens the window, and the breeze of abundance rushes in. Expectation clears the path, and the miracle cannot help but walk upon it. Therefore, hold fast your expectation, not as hope but as certainty, not as longing but as possession. For the soul that expects without wavering shall surely behold the treasures of God revealed before his very eyes, and the hidden jackpot made plain in overflowing measure. The greatest secret of all, beloved, is this: you are not a beggar at the gates of abundance, you are the rightful heir of infinite riches. The hidden jackpot is not something you must earn, chase, or wrestle from the world. It is already yours by divine inheritance. As a child of God, you are heir to all that the Father-Mother has prepared since the foundation of the world. You need not plead for your good, for pleading implies separation. You need only claim it, for claiming declares ownership. An heir does not tremble, wondering if the treasure will be granted. He knows it belongs to him by law, and he waits in confidence until the will is read and the inheritance revealed. So it is with you. The will has already been written. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. The treasure house of God is yours now, in this very moment, not in some far-off future. You need not look to man, to circumstance, to chance, for your portion. It is already laid up for you in spirit, and no power on earth can keep it from you once you claim it by faith. When you know yourself as heir, you cease to think small. You do not fear loss, for what is truly yours cannot be taken. You do not envy others, for their abundance does not lessen your own. You do not doubt the timing, for you know the estate is secure. You rise each day in dignity, walking as one who carries the authority of heaven within. You declare, "I am rich in divine substance. I am heir to inexhaustible supply. The jackpot of heaven is mine now, and it comes to me in perfect time and perfect way." The world may say you must labor, struggle, or strive for wealth, but the heir does not struggle for what is already his. He receives. He opens his hand. He gives thanks. He walks in certainty. To live as heir is to live in rest, for you no longer grasp at shadows, you claim substance. And as you claim, substance takes form. The invisible supply that has always been yours rushes into visibility, clothed in the shapes and figures of money, opportunities, surprises, and miracles. This is the revelation that ends all fear and striving. You are not outside the banquet, begging for crumbs. You are seated at the table, and the feast is yours. You are not knocking at the vault door. You hold the key, for the vault belongs to you. You are not waiting to be chosen by fortune. You have already been chosen by God, appointed heir of his inexhaustible abundance. Therefore walk no longer as a stranger in your Father's house. Take possession of what is yours by divine right. Speak it, expect it, receive it. For the hidden jackpot is not hidden from you, it is hidden for you, awaiting the fearless soul who dares to claim his inheritance and live as the child of God he was created to be. Infinite Spirit, I thank thee that thy hidden jackpot is now revealed in my life. I stand as thy child, thy heir, knowing that all that is thine is mine. I release every thought of fear, doubt, and delay, and I claim my divine inheritance with fearless faith. I affirm that invisible supply now rushes into visible form. The doors of abundance swing wide before me, and treasures long prepared flow into my hands. What belongs to me by divine right cannot be withheld, cannot be lost, and cannot be delayed. It comes swiftly, in perfect time, in perfect way, under grace. I declare, God is my instant and eternal supply. My jackpot of heaven is mine now. Every channel is open, every gate is lifted, and miracles manifest daily in overflowing measure. I rejoice before I see, I give thanks before I touch, for I know it is already accomplished in spirit. The law is unfailing, and the promise is sure. I am rich in divine substance, heir to inexhaustible riches, and I walk today in joy, in faith, and in victory. And so it is. Beloved, the secret is no longer hidden. What the world calls chance, what the world calls jackpot, is nothing less than God's unfailing law of supply, ever ready to pour forth for the fearless soul. You are not a beggar, you are not forgotten, you are not left outside the storehouse. You are the heir, and the vault of heaven is already open to you. Walk in this knowing, speak your word with authority, release fear, and expect daily miracles. See beyond appearances, rejoice in the invisible, and call forth your treasure with thanksgiving. For the hidden jackpot of God is not waiting in some far-off place. It is here, it is now, it is yours. Go forth then, and claim your inheritance. Live as the child of God you are. Speak boldly, stand fearlessly, rejoice continually. For the treasures of heaven are yours in overflowing measure, and nothing and no one can keep from you that which is already written in spirit. Your jackpot moment is now.